everybody. It's been a great day too so far, I think. I hope you're all having as good a time as I am. I do have one quick housekeeping item. I just want to wish my mother, Mary O'Brien, happy birthday. She's out there somewhere beaming with pride right now. Thank you, guys. So I hope you're all here for Debbie Wasserman Schultz this morning because talking about women in political leadership is incredibly important and incredibly timely, especially as we're going into a really big election year next year. And it's entirely possible that we could be looking at a showdown between two women, which I find to be a very exciting prospect. But don't let that fool anyone, because we really are a long way from gender parity in the political leadership sphere. Excuse me. But I'm honored to have this conversation with Marianne Schnall, especially given that you've written the book on this exact topic, What Will It Take to Make a Woman President and Break the Ultimate Glass Ceiling. So Marianne, I'm going to jumpstart this conversation and ask a somewhat controversial question. Should we elect a president based solely on gender? And if all things were equal, should we vote for the woman?
Well, I definitely don't think that anybody thinks that would be a good idea to just vote solely on gender. And as when I first started out to do this project, as Gloria Steinem said to me, it's about the issues, not about biology. So I do think that we should first and foremost vote for candidates that sort of align with our values and support the policies and issues that we think are important in our lives and in this country. That said, if confronted with an opportunity to vote for a qualified female candidate that does align with your values and issues you care about, I think all of us, both men and women, should absolutely leap to that opportunity to break that ultimate glass ceiling. I think there would be huge celebration, to be able to finally do that. And I think one of the things that really I always try to say in framing this issue is I think that we should think about this as less an issue of being a woman's issue and more of an issue of just diversity and having a reflective democracy. And a lot of people I spoke to for the book really sort of put it that way. We just sort of, for having a woman's perspective, and I think it was Nicholas Kristof who said to me, if we had women in leadership positions, in all sectors and at all levels, it wouldn't just benefit the women of America, it would benefit all of America. So I think, women need to be seated at those tables where important decisions are being made, and that's something I think we should all want to see happen.
Absolutely, and you have to think sometimes about the debates that we have about so many issues, whether it has to do with family leave or, anything that does have to do with women's health. What would that debate look like if half the debaters were women, which they're not. But with that, there I know you've referenced that there's a complacency and a false sense that we're further along with the parity issue, and we see women like Hillary and Carly running, and sometimes that can really give a false sense that we've got women in the game. But I'd love for you to expound on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, starting with the fact that we've never had a woman president, which was how I started the book, was my then 8-year-old daughter just asking this question, why have you not had a woman president? And I actually hadn't stopped to think about that. We've never had a woman president. And then in doing the book, you're just confronted with all these statistics, that women are less than 20% of Congress and 20% of the Senate, and out of 50 governors, only 6 are women. And then even in the corporate world, the numbers are just as low in terms of less than 20%, and chief executive officer positions are on boards, and in the media, 5% of cloud positions, and all these statistics. We're making, I think it's 78 cents on the dollar. We're one of only 9 countries not to have paid maternity leave. And then also just, I think, culturally, all that women face with the continued challenges in terms of sexism and violence, and just in general, I feel like we're just barraged with so many disempowering messages. That said, I always like to spin it on a positive note, because I'm finding, even being at events like this, I really feel an awakening of women right now. There's a shift that's taking place. So I feel like even though it's been sort of stagnating, I really hope and believe we'll see some fast progress and engagement. And I think also part of that is I think men are also realizing and feeling like they want to be part of the solution.
Certainly, we definitely saw that today with our He for She panel. It's been, I mean, doing this now for 4 years, there's been a huge evolution on it, and I would love to see that conversation really evolve, especially around women's political leadership. It's something that I'm really passionate about. So with that though, also, what challenges do you see women facing when they look to enter the political sphere? I mean, there are a lot of practicalities that come into play.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it took me, a very long book to sort of expound into all of them. But I think first and foremost, what was most interesting is one of the ones that, and I think it was probably discussed a lot today, is this internal glass ceiling that women and girls often feel. They don't see themselves as leaders, and how could they? I mean, from a very early age, they're discouraged from seeing themselves as leaders, and also seeing it as negative. I remember talking with, Sheryl Sandberg, who talks about from very early age, confident girls who speak their mind are seen as bossy. And then you hear that even like later in life, the fact that, confident, ambitious, powerful women are seen less liked by both genders, whereas men don't take that same type of likability hit. And then also just structurally, it's such a tough slog to run for office. It's not very, encouraging,
right.
And just in terms of how negative and all the vitriol that you face, but also the insane challenges there are just having to raise these huge amounts of money, which there are studies that show how much harder that is for women. And then there's the, this unfair media scrutiny that women candidates face, everything about their appearance to their hair. So there's definitely a lot of challenges that it takes a lot to want to put yourself up for that. But
and your family, it's
yeah.
very daunting, and I think that women are probably a little more sensitive to the overall family view, and they're put under a particular scrutiny with that. And I think that considering, especially all of you and who care about this issue, when you look at fundraising, the difficulty that just as you said, and going back to it's the ask for more conversation, but the ask for more as far as asking for money to donate to your campaign and to support you. And as we're going to definitely be wrapping it up, because this is a nice, tight conversation, I also would love to know, looking beyond this election, what you do think about our leadership pipeline prospects, and how can we engage the women in the room to support women to run and to run themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, that's first and foremost. Like, you should run. If you see someone you think should run, encourage them to run. There are so many resources also out there. I mean, I'm hoping to launch a whole online hub where you'll be able to find them all, but there are trainings and programs, great organizations like Vote, Run, Lead and Running Start. So definitely take advantage. There's a whole world out there that would support you. Then, yeah, campaign finance reform, that's something that will benefit not just women, but the whole political system. And then when you just talked about the challenges of balancing work and family, we need policies that support working women and families and men. So we need, family leave and affordable daycare and pay equity, but also we need to encourage men to break out of their stereotypical roles and share in those responsibilities at home, to be partners.
Absolutely, and Congressman Wasserman Schultz talked about that earlier, about having a really good partner and how that really supported her in her political career. So thank you so much for that, Marianne. I really appreciate it. She's got a really brilliant book, and we have it on sale in the bookstore. I'd love for you all to check it out. And hopefully 2016 might see us getting used to using the term Madam President. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Claudia Chan, and I'm the founder of She Summit. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and community. At She Summit, we believe there is a leader and change agent inside everyone, and our goal is to unleash you to lead change from where you are for issues that you care about to benefit your life, your family, your workplace, and even the world. There's so many ways to follow us if you're interested in this leadership content. You can actually subscribe to this YouTube channel, of course, but also visit our website where you can sign up for our newsletter and learn more about our community, new leadership courses that we're rolling out, and our 2019 She Summit conference. And I also just launched a podcast based on my book. It's called the How We Rise Leadership Podcast. So please follow us. There's so many ways to follow us. And I'm so excited for you to join our new generation of leaders to lead change again for our lives and for the world.